Welcome to Assembly Update. I'm Mike Friesen. With us for our program today, Assemblyman Mike Norris. Mike Norris represents the 144th Assembly District in New York State, a district that includes both Erie and Niagara counties. We want to thank you folks across Western New York for tuning in. And Assemblyman Norris, you represent Western New York, the kind of northwestern section of the state. Let's talk a little bit like we did in our last program, about the migrant crisis that is facing the United States. We hear most of the news coming out of the southern border, Texas specifically. How about the northern border, the border that your assembly district has, that borders on Canada? Is there a migrant crisis that is affecting the northern border of the United States as well?
There is, and there is a tremendous amount of people who are crossing illegally into the United States from Canada. So, listen, in the last 4 weeks, we've had 9 illegals come over across the Niagara River, and we have we have spoken with law enforcement. These individuals have crossed the river mainly on rafts. They enter the United States illegally. They are then in the neighborhoods in the middle of the night. Citizens who live in these neighborhoods see these people on ring cams. The thing is we don't know the backgrounds of these people. We don't know their criminal background. We don't know their health background. Are they bringing diseases here? Are they part of the cartel? These are serious situations. Now, I want to be clear about this. If someone wants to come to the United States, we are a country of immigrants, generations of immigrants, but there's a proper way of doing it to make sure that they are vetted through customs, to make sure that we know that these individuals come with a good background. They're not criminals. They don't have health issues. And there's a process for individuals who want to come here properly to go through. And I'm fine with that. The problem is, I am not fine with people who want to cross here illegally. These are illegal aliens, period. They're coming here through improper channels. And I want to talk a little bit about the financial impact. This budget alone, proposed by the governor, has $2.4 billion for illegal aliens, the cost. Now, out of the $233 billion, every organization is coming here fighting for every single penny. Law enforcement needs more dollars. Our transportation highway individuals and local municipalities need more dollars for their roads and their bridges and culverts, which I support. And actually, the governor slashed that to the tune of 60 million in her budget proposed right now. Our education system, when they are trying to shift the foundation aid formula away from our rural and suburban schools, cutting some of my districts up to 5% in her proposed formula. Yet the governor is reaching into the rainy day fund for illegal aliens to the tune of $500 million. We could take these dollars, prioritize them, and use them on people who are here legally. When you look at what the governor is also saying, she wants to have 4,000 state jobs available to illegal aliens. Now, listen, we have veterans who need jobs. We need people who are here legally to get these jobs. Why are we giving 4,000 state jobs, good paying jobs, to illegal aliens? It's ludicrous. It's absolutely crazy when you think about this.
Isn't
I,
there
I
also
want
some
to
kind of program that is going to give like a debit card to illegal aliens in the New York City area? You know, for all the illegals that are coming across the Niagara River, I can't tell you how many interviews I've seen with illegals that have come across the southern border saying their destination in the United States is New York, for sure. But I heard there was going to be a program with debit cards where the state of New York was going to be putting $1,000 a month on these debit cards for the illegals. I mean, what are the taxpayers of New York State supposed to be thinking about a program like that? I wouldn't mind getting a free debit card that was going to have $1,000 put on it every month.
What about the veterans who need services? Why don't we spend $1,000 on those individuals? What about our children in our schools right now who need to make sure that they have lunch and breakfast for all schools in New York State? And these are people who are here legally. The taxpayers of New York should be outraged. They really should just be completely outraged by these ludicrous policies being driven out of New York City. Listen, when they cross the border, either through the south or through the north, destination New York. Do you know why? Because we have been declared by the former Governor Cuomo as a sanctuary state. Just come here by executive order. I'm calling upon the governor to take her pen out and to reverse this, to say that executive order now is gone because we cannot afford it. We cannot sustain that here in New York State. Listen, they know they can come here. They get free housing and hotels. They get free education for their children if they come with children. They can get free higher education under the DREAM Act. They try to allow them to vote in New York City, these illegal aliens. That's why they are coming to New York State, because they know that the former governor and the current governor has allowed the sanctuary status here, and they can get all of these things for free, but it's not free. It's because the state taxpayers are paying for it, and we need to make investments into the people who are here legally and protect our economy. We need to protect our education system and our transportation system. Those continue to be my main priorities for the people of Western New York. And I tell you, this is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This people know that we need to take care of the problems that we have with the citizens who are here legally, because it's
Now is the
impacting
time to be
those.
having those conversations because the budget negotiations are in full swing at the state capitol right now. The Assembly and Senate are meeting together with all the various department heads and commissioners from across the state as the governor's proposed budget is being picked apart and looked at for just some of the reasons that you've been talking about. But you told me there was one part of the governor's budget proposal that you kind of like, and that has to do with some increased funding for swimming programs across the state of New York. And for an area like what you represent that has an awful huge amount of bodies of water throughout it, swimming programs can be not only important, but life-saving programs to have for the people that you represent.
One of the main purposes of being elected official is to take care of the people, of the citizens of the state, public protection. And I do that constantly for our law enforcement community, making sure that hopefully our borders will be secure after some of these failed policies of President Biden and the governor are reversed in due time. But one of the things is to prevent childhood drowning, and actually drowning of all ages. I worked in a bipartisan manner with Stacey Pfeiffer Amato, this woman from Queens. We put together a commission of experts to study how individuals can get proper swimming lessons in the state of New York and to provide access. And I would tell you where the idea really generated from. I had the local YMCA come in. Everyone comes in, they're looking for capital funding for investments. And it's a great YMCA's tremendous organization. And I thought to myself, why can't we have a public partnership with the YMCA? We provide them grants oftentimes for capital improvements, for things. And a main part of it is to train our lifeguards and to get children and people of all ages the ability, the techniques to know how to swim. And so we did this commission. The commission continues to work. I suspect that the governor's appointees to the commission have let her know about the important work because she has proposed $150 million, which quite frankly is a drop in the bucket when you look at the $233 billion that she proposed in her state budget to provide access for swimming lessons to our young people and people of all ages, and also to make investments into our pools, both at the state parks and also at our SUNY centers, where individuals can receive these swimming lessons. I also want to just say we have a recruitment issue with getting lifeguards. So as part of her plan, it also includes recruitment and retention of our lifeguards. Now, this is a public safety issue. We've had tremendous amount of drownings in New York State. Believe it or not, since COVID, they continue to rise. And I just think that this is a very good bipartisan issue where we've learned a lot. You know, between 6 months and 18 months, a baby can learn the basic techniques of learning how to flip. So if, God forbid, they're in the bathtub or in the pool, they have the ability by training to learn how to flip and to save themselves, believe it or not. And then between 18 months and about 3.5 months, 3.5 years, their motor skills just don't give them the ability yet to swim properly in the pool. But after that, they do. And it's a unique time to make sure we train them and how to do swimming properly. So this is a great program. I applaud the governor. I just was disagreeing with her on the migrant crisis, the illegal alien crisis. But in this case, I do support her efforts. This is a worthwhile program, and I will be a strong advocate throughout these budget negotiations to make sure this program gets funded in next year's budget and continues to be funded for years to come, because it will save lives, and we will be saving the lives of so many children.
And we'll be keeping a close eye on those budget talks as they happen here at the state capitol. Mike Norris, we look forward to speaking with you over the coming weeks to talk about which of these programs are going to be winners and losers as the budget details are finalized and put into place. Budget expected to be in place by the end of the month of March. So stay tuned for that. If you folks watching want to know how you can reach out to your representative in Albany, it's an easy thing for you to do. You can contact Mike Norris at his office in Clarence. You can dial 839-4691, or the easiest thing to do might just be to send an email at the address you see on the bottom of the screen, norrism@nyassembly.gov. norrism@nyassembly.gov. Mike Norris, thanks again for joining us today. We want to thank all you folks who are watching for being here with us. We'll hope to see you soon for our next edition of Assembly Update.